PNC, America's Black News Channel. Watch us on all major cable providers and major streaming platforms. Finally, news that speaks to us.
Good evening, Black people and all allies fighting for Black liberation, Black prosperity, and Black joy. I'm Nayyera Haq, in tonight for Charles Blow. Welcome to Prime. More than 18 million people in America were told they don't quite count. Millions of Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous people were miscounted in the 2020 census. Now, you can blame the pandemic and extreme weather events, but the greatest challenge was the Trump administration, tasked with overseeing the once-in-a-decade assessment of who makes up America. The Trump administration undermined the effort at every turn, trying to force in questions about citizenship, to deter undocumented people from participating, to simply ending the census count early. A few percentage points across several minority groups, resulting in the largest miscount in decades. This skewed count of who makes up America will literally cost Black and brown communities their fair share of tax dollars and fair representation in Congress. Joining us now are the 2020 Census Senior Advisor for the National Urban League, Jeri Green, and Executive Director for the People of the American Way, Svante Myrick. Jeri, let's start with you. You were part of the advocacy operation promising to challenge the results of the census in court. What do you think can be done at this point to change the outcome?
Well, one of the things immediately that can be done is cities and localities who have who know that their counts are short, have fallen short, need to challenge those numbers. There's an open period now for local governments and tribes to put in their applications to contest the counts that they've gotten for their jurisdictions. And that's a count resolution program, and that's available to them now. From the stakeholder side, we're calling for the National Urban League, which sued the Trump administration, to ensure that our people in diverse communities all over would be able to complete the census. We're calling for congressional hearings to understand what happened, the magnitude of the undercount, and how those numbers can be adjusted so that local governments get their fair share of federal funding, more than $1.5 trillion each year.
And what you're having to deal with right now was all part of the plan, right? This was not by accident that advocacy groups are left now trying to use the court system to get fair representation for Black and brown communities. So, Svante, talk a little bit about how even if these challenges are successful, we are still now so far behind the 8 ball because of the interference of the Trump administration.
To understand, thank you. To understand why this is a problem, you have to understand how these numbers are used, right? We might all know that, of course, this is how our congressional districts are apportioned. But did you know this is also how the Electoral College is apportioned? That we all don't get to vote for the president. We get to vote as part of an Electoral College, which then votes for the president. These numbers, I just finished 10 years of service as mayor of the city of Ithaca, New York. And from small towns to big cities, to states, to counties, to school districts, all kinds of decisions, millions of decisions each day, and this is not an exaggeration, rely on those census numbers. Where should the bus stop? How many bus services should there be? How many Ps should we deliver to that school district? How much road should we pave? Which road should get paved first? And when Black communities are undercounted, and that's what we're showing here, the census itself is saying that they undercounted Black Americans by 3 times as much as they undercounted us during the Obama administration. When that happens, we get fewer bus stops, less well-paved roads, we get fewer Ps in school, and it can affect how many votes the President of the United States gets. So what do we have to do? And I really appreciate the lawsuits that we're bringing right now to fix these numbers as best we can, but we also have to take advantage of the next 10 years to replace the census with better technology that actually counts all Americans. Because what we're doing now is leaving us woefully underrepresented.
Jeri, how is there such a massive disconnect, though, between what's on paper and the reality of who we are as America right now? We know that America is browning, and it's going to be a majority-minority country in the next 20 years.
Absolutely, we do know that. And again, the pandemic did play a role in this, but again, the National Urban League believes there was malfeasance. We cannot underestimate the extent to which the political interference from the Trump administration actually um, almost derailed the entire census. We consider it a subversion. We call it population suppression, right? That goes hand in hand with voter suppression. I mean, it's not 60% of African Americans and Blacks reside in the South, and that area was miscounted, undercounted, and so we're talking about a massive loss of representation. We're talking about a loss of congressional districts, and we're talking about a massive loss of money that affect the everyday life of our people. We're talking about the loss of millions, tens of millions of dollars that are going to be allocated in the infrastructure bill. So it's going to hit us hard. It's going to hit us quick, and we are calling for the Bureau to redesign, be prepared for the next census. But right now, it needs a complete investigation of how we got to this point.
Svante, these issues aren't going to be resolved by the midterm election. So what can be done in the meantime? Can anything be done in the meantime to ensure fair representation?
Mm-hmm. Yes, advocacy is important here. And I just want to double down on something that Jeri said. I mean, we were aware of what the Trump administration was trying to do in real time. And I saw it not just because I was the mayor, but because my mother was a census worker for the second decade in a row. So she did this in 2010. She did it in 2020. And sure, there were difficulties around the pandemic, but she said, even in real time, and reaffirmed it today after she read that New York Times article, yes, the Trump administration slowed them down. Not only did they make it more difficult than it was 10 years ago, they cut the census short. They had to stop counting people, even though we knew there were more places to count. So this was intentional. What do we do to combat it? Well, it's on all of us. When our elected officials are not doing their job and not representing us, we really have to represent ourselves. And as frustrating as it is to hear, when the deck is stacked against us, we have to play our hand even better. So we in People for the American Way, where we're led by Ben Jealous, have decided that we are going to make sure that Black folks have not only every opportunity to vote, but they are contacted more often, more regularly, and more frequently than in any time before. So we started up Defend the Black Vote. And anybody who's interested in that program can sign up. Here's what you'd be signing up to do. Just texting folks, particularly Black men between the ages of 18 and 50, signing up to text them information about their right to vote and where they can vote. And what you'll find, what we found when we ran this program in states like Georgia in 2020, is that we text young men and we'd say, hey, don't forget you can vote Tuesday. And they'd write back to us and say, are you sure? I got something on Facebook that said because it was going to be so crowded on Tuesday, I could wait until Wednesday or Thursday. Right? Or you'd get text from people say, I showed up at my polling place and it had moved. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And in real time, you will be able to help steer voters to where they can be. Because as long, frankly, as this federal government has been around, it has been doing this. It has been undercounting us and underrepresenting us. And that's not hyperbole. It's just a fact. It was worse this time than usual because the Trump administration made it worse. But it's nothing we're not used to. We are used to overcoming in the face of adversity, and we can do it again. But it's not going to happen by happenstance. We will have to lean in and get involved. That's what we at People for the American Way are committed to doing.
It's all part and parcel, though, of a broader agenda, right? That the census was one piece of the puzzle that was aimed at ensuring that Black and brown people didn't fully exercise their power. Jeri, Does this seem to you connected to the critical race theory narrative, to the fight at the school board level, to Jim Crow, now called Jim Eagle by President Biden? Connect some of the dots of what else is happening around us and how the census really sits in the middle of all of that.
Well, indeed, we know that racial inequities are baked into the history of the Census Bureau. We've been undercounted since the first census. 71 were counted as 3/5 of a person. So, and we also believe that methodologies, these old paradigms and all, don't reflect and are not prepared to deal with the browning of America. These paradigms and these methodologies were created for a different time, and they're pretty much useless right now. So this goes hand in hand with voter suppression. New York City, the state of New York, for example, lost an entire congressional seat because 89 people were not counted in the census. So this cuts deep. It's about power and it's about money. It's about representation, and they are all lockstep with each other. Voter suppression, voting rights, the Civil Rights Act, all of these things lie at the center of the census, which was developed to ensure democracy in our society. So, we faced a major threat in 2020, and it's going to take a little bit of time for us to to improve those numbers so people will get there, so localities will get their fair share of $1.5 trillion each year, and move forward with changing the culture of the Census Bureau so we can get more equity out of this.
As you say, Jeri, these are paradigms not designed to deal with the browning of America. Thank you for the work you're both doing. Svante, Myrick, Jeri Green, thanks for joining tonight.